Yeah, good evening, Carl Bromley here, the south of New Zealand, asking you a question regarding these local elections, these local council elections in New Zealand. Will you be voting for selective, hypocritical, hate-filled bigotry in the form of antisemitism, these local elections? Be careful, you just might be. I was astounded to discover tonight that 4 councils in New Zealand had voted for sanctions against Israel in terms of resource procurements. That's right, to sanction companies and businesses with any contact with Israel because they've fallen victim to radical leftist pro-Palestine lobbying. Check this out. This is from Aotearoa New Zealand Standing with Palestine. This is September 17th, last month, this morning. Environment Southland passed our motion to boycott Israeli settlements. It's now the 4th local council to beat Parliament at its own job. Votes were 12-0. So what we have here is local rate-paid councils playing international politics on your dollar. They are basically taking a position politically due to pro-Palestinian supporters who support Palestine and their terrorist government, Hamas, that Palestine has voted for twice now, in sanctions against Israel in terms of procurements. And they're using the issue of the propaganda around Israeli settlements. Israel is at war with Gaza to seek the return of the 20 remaining hostages out of all those who were taken and died, and to secure their nation amongst ongoing terrorist threats and attack. Now, somehow, local governments in New Zealand have taken it upon themselves to play international politics with your local rate-paying money. Now, there are 4 councils that have done this. Environment Southland joins other councils around the country in observing the United Nations list, including Christchurch City Council, headed up by Phil Major, Environment Canterbury, and Nelson City Council. Thankfully, in Invercargill, City Council narrowly voted against adoption when Mayor Nobby Clark's casting vote proved the difference. This is nothing more than selective, hypocritical, biased, hate-filled bigotry against Israel in favor of pro-Palestine positions. A nation of people who on October 7th, 2 years today, endorsed 6,000 Gazans. Not just Hamas, but 6,000 Gazans to enter Israel and massacre over 1,200 people, injuring thousands of others, and taking, I think, about 250 hostages, a number released, 20 still remaining, and another 28, I think, claimed deceased. That's what started this. And it was started by the Palestinians in Gaza under the Hamas government, which they voted for twice. 6,000 Gazans invaded Israel and raped, murdered, burnt babies, killed parents before their children's faces. And Israel, since that time, 2 years ago, October 7th, have been seeking to destroy the administration, the government of Gaza, Hamas, voted for twice by Palestinians, to secure their nation from ongoing threat of terrorists and to see what's left of the hostages remain. And local governments in New Zealand, under the pressure of pro-Palestine lobbyists, have taken and usurped authority for your ratepayer dollars to implement selective, hypocritical, hate-filled bigotry in the form of antisemitism. Now, why haven't they sanctioned nations with absolutely atrocious human rights issues established? Why aren't they sanctioning Russia? Why aren't they sanctioning South Africa? What about China? And the list could go on. Nigeria, that's killing thousands of Christians. And why haven't they sanctioned Palestine itself? Why is Palestine not on their sanction list as they currently continue to hold the hostages, as they still have a government that apparently, according to polls taken in Gaza, will most likely support another Hamas government if given a vote to, about 48%. This is nothing more than selective, hypocritical, hate-filled bigotry in the form of anti-Semitism. What on earth is local government, local councils doing playing international politics? Do we not have a foreign minister? Yes, we do. His name is Winston Peters. Is not the issue of foreign policy a central government issue? Yes, it is. How is it these councils can run rogue with your ratepayer dollar and pull off these kind of stunts because they're so woke, so ignorant, that they cave into pro-Palestine propaganda? Now, there's an article you might be interested in if you want to follow this up. It's written by the Israel Institute of New Zealand. Here it is. When local councils play foreign policymaker, Environment Southland's misguided stand for policy. Now, you can check this article out. I'll pop it in the comments. But it basically goes over making the same points I've made. What are local councils doing playing international politics? Is this not an issue for the foreign minister, central government? Folks, this is just vile. It's coming up, local elections here, 2 weeks. Voting's already started. I'd encourage you to check with your local council to find out what candidates are running before you cast your vote, because you might just be voting for selective, hypocritical, bigoted hate in the form of anti-Semitism. Environment Southland voted 12-0. Not one of them voted against it. Phil Major's all for it in Canterbury, and his councillors, as was Nelson City Council too. Unbelievable. I think Winston Peters as a foreign minister, and Christopher Luxon as the Prime Minister, and David Seymour as a coalition partner of ACT, they should be pulling in these rogue councils who are supposed to act under the auspice of central government. What do you think? Folks, is it time for a rates boycott, to boycott and protest against this selective, hate-filled bigotry in the form of anti-Semitism? I'm starting to think it is. If you think it is, maybe you might want to personal message me and we start talking about boycotting Environment Southland, boycotting Nelson City Council, boycotting Christchurch City Council and Environment Canterbury as protest against this localised, hate-filled, selective, hypocritical bigotry in the form of anti-Semitism. Leave your thoughts. If you agree, like the video, share it everywhere. And if you're interested in forming a movement of boycotting, a rates boycotting to stop hate-filled, bigoted local politics, then maybe you might want to personal message me.